1:09. Let's go. Let's go. Yes, it's go time. It is go time. Ladies and gentlemen, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm yours truly, the one and only Coin Baron, and today it is again a Sunday, so that means it is the weekly close once again. This is episode 34, so I'm actually kind of surprised. Already more than half a year we're doing this weekly podcast. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I see Sanja, I see John or Donovan. Now I start to remember names. I see Jeffrey as well. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. Jeffrey Harches. I like that. It has been Valentine's Day. I hope you guys enjoyed your Valentine's Day. I don't know, maybe you bought your girl flowers or went on a nice date, whatever. At least I hope you guys had a beautiful weekend so far and are getting ready for the week because, well, I think it's going to be quite an interesting week. Also, as we mentioned right now here in the live stream title. But first, I want to show you some stuff here on the charts, ladies and gentlemen. I need to quickly lower the volume a little bit. There we go. That's a lot better. Hey, Davor as well. Welcome from Zagreb, Croatia. Beautiful, dude. Beautiful. Been there a few years ago. Still fond memories of the trip. Where should strap in right back? Well, good question. I've got a different strap today. As you might have heard, I'm actually wounded. I'm wounded. But well, the show must go on. The show must go on. I think, guys, the most important indicator right now remains to be Bitcoin. And I've told you guys this earlier, but I do believe that this is going to be a very important weekly close because I do believe this teal line, let me remove this quickly, is going to be the most important resistance right now for Bitcoin. So I do hope we actually close the week basically on this line here, so we can use it as a springboard towards new levels, like as shown here, about 170k. Typically February, historically seen, is actually quite a good month for cryptocurrencies, especially Bitcoin. So I think it would make sense. Also, you have to understand right now, guys, we do not live in a vacuum. We do not live in a vacuum. If you go to the S&P 500, the S&P 500 is about to break to a new all-time high. A new all-time high for the S&P 500. So if we see macroeconomic environments, being very bullish, why wouldn't Bitcoin be bullish as well? I mean, this is the time to be bullish. Let's quickly add some more different charts as well. The only thing, what I'm still waiting for, guys, and what I think everyone right now in here holding CRO is waiting for, is for some movement for Ethereum. Ethereum is still the gasoline for any altcoin season. Let me check if I can find Ethereum as well. So again, S&P 500, that's going to be closing up tomorrow, or opening up tomorrow again. Guys, as you might know, even in this day and age, the stock markets are closed during weekends. The stock markets are closed during the weekend. So anyone that wants to do trades has to wait until tomorrow. I think they open up shop in about 12 hours. Oh no, about 12 hours, I think. No, not 12 hours, a lot later actually. A lot later. But this is looking very good. This is looking very good. Potentially though, what is one of my fears is that we might be retracing a bit more and that we have a short-term double top here as well for the S&P 500. But that kind of depends a bit on what's happening really on the broader scene. So right now, as you might have heard, there are discussions going on for peace between Ukraine and also Russia, of course. But those discussions are being done by the United States of America and Russia. So no Ukraine yet. But if there's going to be long-lasting peace, that's going to be very, very bullish for the broader economy. Hey, Justin. Happy Sunday, dude. Happy Sunday. David, welcome. So happy to found this channel. Hello. Hello to you as well. What happened to my arm? Well, I actually fell. I fell, unfortunately. The coin baroness did not do anything to me. Just a good old fall. Oh, the stock exchange actually is closed on Monday for United States of America holiday. You guys have so many holidays, guys. What's the occasion tomorrow? What's the occasion, Haven? I have no clue. I didn't know that. Okay, in that case, it's going to be another like 36 hours. Another 36 hours before the New York Stock Exchange actually opens up. It is President's Day. Okay. Is it like... Ah, okay, George Washington. Okay, that makes sense. It is George Washington's birthday. He's the founding father, so it's okay to celebrate his birthday at least. That makes sense. Okay, then in that case, guys, we might be waiting a bit more. Bitcoin likes to have some certainty. Bitcoin likes to have some certainty. So we kind of have to wait and see what the stocks are going to do, and then Bitcoin can respond. But we do know that Bitcoin can respond very rapidly. I do hope, though, like I mentioned before, that if we get a bit more juice, and we actually close this week at about 98k, that will be so bullish. It's kind of like what we have had here, right? So there, or actually we might be waiting a bit more. So here you can see the last time we actually were in this flag pattern, really, this flag pattern for Bitcoin. We went down. The week after we went up again, and we kind of retested this line here. So maybe next week we can actually finally take over, go towards 100k once more, and then maybe make another attempt here at breaking 104k. 104k for one Bitcoin. Night Gaming as well. Welcome, dude. Welcome. And of course, like Sanjay's mentioning, ladies and gentlemen, do not forget to hit the like button, of course. So that is kind of what's happening right now with Bitcoin. Like I mentioned before, though, I think Ethereum is the more important indicator right now for a broader bull market, also including altcoins. And I made a little drawing here. I think I might have shared this as well on Twitter. I'm not entirely sure, though. But what I've been seeing so far is that we have an overall downtrend for Ethereum. We're below the 21 week. We're below the 50 week for Ethereum. We are right now right at the 100 week for Ethereum, which is kind of nice. I mean, 100 week has been support in the past as well. So that we can remove a few more of these. Oh, it's hard to really zoom in right now with only one hand, guys. Yeah, it's annoying. So kind of what we have seen here back in 2020, we kind of had the final liftoff here at the 100 week. So we had one rejection here, one rejection at the 100 week, and then we kind of sprung forward, and then really we didn't really touch the 100 week after that anymore. Didn't touch it anymore. But right now we're holding us a support like we have done so a bit earlier in the year, so 2024 in the summer. We hold the line beautifully for really a few weeks here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say 10 weeks we hold this line. Maybe we have to hold this line another 10 weeks before we can really make the jump up. But well, we have to wait and see here. In het gips. It's called... I don't know how it's called. It's not broken. It's not broken. It's... the shoulder was dislocated. The shoulder was dislocated. Hey, Jimmy, welcome. Welcome. So Ethereum right now is again at those crucial levels. The 100 week. So that's kind of like a 2-year average, guys. A 2-year average. And it's also really interesting because I don't know if you guys have heard the news, but I think next week or maybe in about 2 weeks, the FTX case is going to be well, finally repaying its customers. It's going to be repaying its customers, and they are using historical, well, numbers, valuations for Bitcoin and also for Ethereum. And if I'm correct, I'm not entirely sure about this, but they made a snapshot really of Bitcoin at about 18K. When FTX went bankrupt, I think it was at about 18K for Bitcoin. Then it really collapsed. However, for Ethereum kind of made a nice jump during that period because also it was working towards new upgrades. So fundamental new valuations with EIP 1559. And I think I can quickly show it to you as well. I'm not entirely sure anymore where FTX went bankrupt. I think it was in April or May, maybe. But at least the valuation of Ethereum back at the collapse was a lot higher than for Bitcoin. Might have to look up when FTX actually finally collapsed. FTX collapse. FTX collapse. November 2022. Okay, let me check if I can find that. November 2022. Ethereum was actually trading at about $1,600, so still not bad though. $1,600 for one Ethereum. Whereas Bitcoin was trading a lot lower. A lot lower. November 2022. That was here, right about here. It went down from 21 to about 15K. Thanks to the FTX collapse. Anyways, what's going to happen, guys, is that people that were customers at FTX are going to get repaid very soon. That might be new liquidity entering the markets. That might be new liquidity trying to get into Ethereum, trying to get into Bitcoin, trying to get into whatever position they want to get into. Or maybe a lot of customers are burnt, and I will also understand that very much. Reading a lot of thoughts that CDC could go bankrupt. I have never heard that before, Bobby. I've never heard that one before. Man, I'm so tired of waiting on CRO to make a move. It is really, everyone right now is waiting, I guess, James, on that one move. First by Ethereum here. And once Ethereum starts mooning, then only other altcoins are going to moon as well. Also, I want to, if anyone here thinks we're the only one, so CRO, of course, guys, we're just tuning in for the first time right now. We're really focused, I think, on the CRO token, the Cronos token by Crypto.com, or the Cronos Labs team. So this is CRO, and I will quickly start to compare it with a different token as well. So this is here Coinbase, but let's compare it with a different token because this is one of the biggest meme tokens from the previous cycle. It's the Shiba Inu, the SHIB token. But check this out. Check this out, guys. If you really start to compare those two tokens here, so Shiba Inu versus Cronos, I think you do see a lot of similarities, right? So a big move here, big bull move. And this actually does miss a bit of data. Let me get one more chart. This one. I think this one looks a lot better. You can really see that Shiba Inu made a big move, went down, I think 90%, about 90% down. Yeah, 95% down. And I think Cronos also went down about 95%. Yeah, 95%. So basically both Shiba Inu and Cronos went down 95%. Then Shiba Inu had a big move beginning of April 2024, March 2024. Cronos basically at the same. You have to really get the same ratio, like zoom in. But you can see, right, we went up basically halfway to the previous all-time high. I think Shiba Inu had a bit more explosive move. But then, beginning of November, Also, again, both tokens had a big move upwards. But both tokens are not even halfway there. Not even halfway there to the previous all-time high. And Shiba Inu, I think, has created quite a big following for their own token. And I also read them sometimes, right? I go to X, I go to Crypto Twitter, I check them out, and I see a lot of the same questions popping up from the community, right? So what's going on with the token? Why isn't Shiba Inu pumping? Well, it all goes back to really the same reason that Ethereum isn't pumping. That also Bitcoin is not really pumping. Nothing is pumping. Why is CDC launching the Lion token when they have CRO? I think it's really to give the loaded Lion NFT a different utility here. But also, let me talk a bit more about that, guys. So if you haven't heard the news, I will quickly look up the tweet as well. But there will be a big event happening on the 27th of January. 27th of January. Let me check if I can find it. Mr. Sunshine and Rainbows, welcome, my dude. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. This was shared here. This news was shared on Valentine's Day. Lion token is launching on the 27th of February. Lion token is launching on the 27th of February. This will be the official loaded Lion token. And this is huge, guys, for anyone, I think, that is in the loaded Lion community as one of these NFTs. Personally, I got one of those. I also got the Dark Line. I got a Cyber Cup. I'm pretty invested into the Lion ecosystem. But they will be launching a new token. So the Lion token, launching on the 27th. If you have NFTs, there will be a snapshot taken. And people with these NFTs will get a bit of Lion token airdrop to them. So free tokens. Free tokens. I think though there's a good question. Honestly, Bobby, I'm looking right now at your tweets here. That is not true. I'm quite sure about that. I talk to Oscar quite often. Well, quite often. I talk to him at least somewhat regularly, and I'm quite sure that he has not made a video about CDC going bankrupt. And honestly, several tweets on Twitter. I read a lot of FUD really on Twitter these days. I would say, ask Chris, are you guys having a bad time? It really wouldn't make any sense, guys, for crypto.com to go bankrupt right now. They wouldn't go bankrupt right now because honestly, if crypto.com would have gone bankrupt, it would have been right after the FTX crash. But if you take a look right now, for example, I will show you the tweets in a minute. But Kraken has released information about their latest revenue numbers in quarter four of 2025 or 2024. And also Coinbase released their revenue numbers for Q4 of 2024. And all those companies are in big profit. Big profit. The month that Trump became president, that everything started mooning, oh man, those companies made bank, real big bank, ladies and gentlemen. Also the Trump token, that brought in a lot of retail. Still not the same levels as in 2021, definitely not, but definitely a lot of people, a lot of Trump fans got into crypto, got in touch with crypto.com, got in touch with Coinbase, got in touch with Kraken. They are not going bankrupt. I'm 99.99% sure. I'm 99.99% sure. If they, Bobby, you can find me the author of the tweet, we can try to find it together. But I'm quite sure it's not going to happen. Quite sure it's not going to happen. Let me quickly check. Where are we? Well, we're talking about the loaded Lion token. So this is going to be launching on the 27th of February 2025. So in about 2 weeks' time. And honestly, ladies and gentlemen, I am super stoked about this launch. And yes, I think it's a good question though by Bobby here. It's a really good question. Why would you launch the Lion token if you have CRO already? But the loaded Lion token can have a lot of utility specifically for the Lion token and for the Lion community. First and foremost, I think it's also a nice gesture, right? To the community, to everyone that has been investing into, for example, the main city game, that has been investing into the NFTs of Crypto.com. So basically, for them, it will be free money, right? It's going to be a free airdrop. That won't hurt anyone. Well, maybe the Crypto.com team, but I don't think anyone really matters or minds if Crypto.com is going to spend a few bucks on their community, right? That's all okay. The other thing, though, that might really be very bullish about this Lion launch is the potential really of, I would say, the domino effect. The domino effect. And I think it's hard to really show it to you. But let me show you what happens to the Pengu token. So a different token, and I think I talked about this in the loaded Lion token video I made. But this is the Pengu token. And the Pengu token right now is down a lot. Without a doubt, it's down a lot. Let me check. This is the Pengu token. This is the token that launched right after, well, the latest Pengu airdrop, or the Pengu snapshot, I mean. So they got the Pudgy Penguins, one of the biggest blue chip NFT collections. And yeah, this has been dropping quite a bit. I'm not going to lie about it. The Abstract launch, Abstract is the chain connected really to the Pengu launch and also to the Pudgy Penguin ecosystem. But overall, this token is not doing all too bad considered what's going on in the broader market, right? This token launched during one of the most, well, bearish times. Bearish times in the bull market, I have to say. So also far, this token is still above its mint value, I would say, above its original value. So it's doing quite okay. You can't really say that about a lot of other tokens really on the Cronos ecosystem. But what makes me really bullish is not per se this graph structure, right? This is kind of a bearish one. But really what the potential is of a big meme token supported by, I think, a big majority of the Cronos network that can start a bit more momentum, that can really start a bit more fun on the chain, a bit more community sense on the chain. And exactly that is happening right now on the Binance chain. You might have heard, for example, that Broccoli. Broccoli is the dog by CZ. CZ is the founder of Binance and also the Binance chain right now. He's just having fun on the Binance chain, on BSC. And the BNB token is also profiting from that. So what I'm hoping for right now, this is a bit of speculation again, but I do believe it's possible. If the loaded Lion community comes together and really starts to kind of have some fun again, right? Maybe do some spaces. I've seen in the past 24-hour spaces with the loaded Lions community, with the main city community. If they come together once more, let's get the community strong. Let's get it rolled up. I think that might have the potential to get some more eyes to the Cronos chain, right? If it's going to be a good launch, and it needs to be a good launch, let's say there's some hype. We launch a bit like this here. We launch a bit like the Pengu token here. This guy was huge, 2000%. If you get a good liquidity, if you got a good bit of hype in the beginning, that bit of hype can be the fire that starts it all again on the Cronos chain, like a true meme season 2.0. And why don't you just use CRO, right? Why don't you just use CRO? The simple fact of the matter here is, guys, that it is just a lot easier to create a new token with a lower valuation. So the Lion token, let's say it starts at about 50 million. Let's say it starts at about 50 million. If that token goes up to 200 million, or actually all the way 50 million is already quite a high valuation. Let's say it starts all the way down at like $1 million valuation. Start it low, build it up really with the community, make sure that people in the community can also profit from the Lion token. In that case, people will start talking about it. People will start noticing it on X as well. And people will want to figure out what's happening on that Cronos chain. I think I might be saying the same things again and again, but I think you get the point. It's going to be, I think, a very bullish thing for the Cronos chain. Those are my thoughts anyways. I think you guys have also quite a lot of thoughts. Let me ask it quickly in a quick poll. Let me ask it to you guys in a quick poll. What do you think about the loaded Lion token? How to buy the loaded Lion token? You cannot yet. But it will be launching. It will be launching, ladies and gentlemen, also directly on the crypto.com app. Let me quickly open this up. Start a poll. Is it too late to stake for a card? No, definitely not, Action. I think it's not too late. But it depends a bit on what you want to achieve. It depends a bit what you want to achieve. Loaded Lion token thoughts. So let me know, guys, also if you're not watching live right now, but are watching the stream later on, the VOD. What do you think about the loaded Lion token? Bullish or are you bearish? Sorry, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, it's really hard with just one hand. Let me know, guys. Lion token thoughts. Bullish, bearish. Ooh, the first one is bearish. Hey, Mr. Avavar, welcome. Welcome to the stream right now. He's waiting for 6 cents CRO. I want to talk about this quickly because I do see a lot of people saying, well, I'm waiting right now. I'm waiting for lower valuations for CRO. I am actually not thinking that we will have a bigger drop. Maybe a bit bigger, but I really don't think we go back to 6 cents anymore. And this is no financial advice. Well, I want to show you guys my theory right here. But of course, Mr. Avavar, if you have any other thoughts you want to share with us, please do. Please do. There we go. So this is the rainbow chart, as I've shared a lot more times already before, of course, with you guys. It's a Coin Baron exclusive. But what is really interesting is this here. You see here, this is the green band, and the green band is based on a logarithmic line. It's based on a logarithmic trend line. And so far in the past, it has really been a magnet. It has really been a magnet after going to or the dotted line or to the actual solid line here. And you can see that before it went down as low here as about 7 cents. But the logarithmic line is right now going up once more. And we touched it here. We touched it here last week. It was a wick, but we did touch it. We did went down as low as I think it was about 8 cents here. About 8 cents for CRO. About 8 cents. I don't know. I don't know if you are going to go down to that line once more. Something like this might be possible because we also did it kind of here. So we are touching it and then slowly moving down. So we might be doing that once more as well. Kind of depends on what Bitcoin is going to do. We talked a bit about this in the beginning, but let's say that right now we're going to have this big rejection here, right? For the S&P 500, for the macro economy, maybe the war in Ukraine is not going to stop anytime soon. Bearish news like that can make sure that Cronos has one final capitulation. But I do not think that it will go down below this line here. I think about 8 cents is already quite a bargain. It's already quite a bargain. That's also why my limit orders won't go down lower than that. I do not think that we're going down to lower valuations. And also, it is not just this one touch, ladies and gentlemen. This line is important already since the beginning of 2024, but also 2023. So honestly, I think this is going to be all line what we hold for support. But let's wait and see. I really don't think we're gonna hit 6 cents anymore. I really don't think so. Some people go to a different chart, and I can also show you that if you are curious. And they say, well, but Coin Baron, what you can do is just take a look really at the non-logarithmic charts. And they say to me, well, we do have quite some historic support and resistance at about, what is it, over here, 7 cents, and then lower 6.3. But I don't think we will go that low anymore this cycle. Wouldn't make sense also, because that would mean we are setting lower lows. That would mean we are setting lower lows based on this previous downtrend, right? This previous downtrend. Having said that, though, crypto does keep surprising me. Hey, Mr. Simon Kelly, welcome. I do think that line would take away from the CRO price even more, though, I'm afraid. I don't know. If it could bring in some more liquidity to the Cronos chain, I think it will be overall bullish. If it's really going to take away, if people are going to sell their CRO, I don't think they will sell their CRO, though. I don't really think so. Or not much. I do agree here, Legacy. I do agree. I do agree, though. Hello, guys, by the way. I see a lot of new names. Mr. Theodore, welcome. Hello. Mr. Diamond J as well. Strap in, my dude. Thanks for being here once more. We got Mr. Conundrum. CRO won't make a move until the end of 2025. Wish I would have sold and reborn now. It is what it is, though. I think that's the same thing for many people here right now. Of course, guys, you should have sold. But, you know, hindsight is so 2024. In the end, yeah, if you take a look also at other indicators for this CRO chart, let me bring up something, for example, here. You got the stochastics, for example. If you bring up the stochastics, I mean, in the end, it would have made sense. Let's go to the weekly. You can see, right, we went up way too high, right into the overbought territory over here. You probably should have sold. But it is also dangerous because sometimes you are actually overextending for a very long period of time in the overbought territory. So sometimes you can really miss a lot of moves. You can miss a big move if you decide to sell off during those times. However, if you're playing it for the short-term games, it's a good play. After how many beers did you dislocate your shoulder? It was only two. It was only two. It was only 2 beers. Yeah, happy birthday, Mr. George Washington. Thanks for founding the United States of America. Really, it is still the most important territory for finance these days. And still, I've been born in Europe over here, but of course I'm thinking more and more in US dollars than really thinking in euros, even though I have to do groceries still in not a Satoshis, but in euros. And what's up, Papa Bigfoot? What's up, my dude? What do you think about the Line token? There's a lot of others with NFTs also getting Line. Not only the loaded Line, the Dark Line, the Cup, but also Land, Staff, Black, Mary. Well, especially the black one. So the blacks are t-shirts, guys, that you can actually order. It's the official Loaded Lion merchandise, kinda. I honestly do believe they deserved a bit of the Lion token because it's actually a very expensive airdrop, a very expensive t-shirt collection, and also a very expensive skateboard collection. So for the people that bought into the black NFT collection, I do believe they deserve a bit of compensation as well. So I think the free tokens there are fine. And in general, I'm all okay with also giving a few tokens. We of course have no clue how big the airdrop will be, but there will be an airdrop coming to people holding, for example, the Mary NFT. I personally think it's a good thing because, like I mentioned before, the idea is to support the Cronos ecosystem, and this is going to support the Cronos ecosystem. People that have been holding on to their Mary NFT, their Monster NFT, or the Dark Line NFT, they're getting rewarded. That's how it should supposed to be. That's also how the Pengu token did it, by the way. It's also how the Pengu token did. Basically, anyone that traded on Ethereum got an airdrop. So I think this is kind of how it should be done. Any idea about the total supply for the Lion token and if all the tokens will be in circulation? I have no clue, unfortunately, Maximilian. If we learn more, I will make a video about this because I do think this is going to be one of the biggest events for Cronos in 2025. I honestly do believe that. But no, we have no information yet. At least if you guys know anything more that I don't, let me know. But from what I've heard in the Discords, nothing is known yet. I do hope they make the Lion token able to be staked for vouchers in-game, turning main city into play to earn. You would still be able to convert vouchers to CRO with a small fee, going to devs and the Loaded Lions. That will make sense as well. I think that would be one of the best, utilities really for the Lion token. The only problem with it that I do have is that I have seen this snowball very wrong in the past. So yeah, it's the question, of course, is how do you say this? In the end, you need the reason to be able to burn the vouchers, right? I say it the wrong way. Basically, so what you're saying here is that if you have the Lion token, you stake it, you should be getting more vouchers, and that more vouchers will be CRO. So basically, you will be staking Lion for more CRO. The question is who's going to pay for that, of course, in the end. The question is who's going to pay for that. If there is a lot of natural demand for the Lion token or a lot of natural demand for the main city game, then it will make a lot of sense though. CDC should have given more CRO to holders of the Loaded Lion token. Having the Lion token seems to be a way of making more money for the CDC exchange. I honestly believe it will cost them more money than they will make, at least in the short term. It all depends on the success of the token, I guess, in the end. I do believe they will be sending out a lot of freebies. They will be sending out a lot of freebies to the community. With the price of CRO, it is not a bad buy right now for DCAing down. I bought more today and collecting my bags. I do think it's a good idea, dude. That's also what I've been doing right now. Since about 10 cents, I've been really buying a lot more. Since about 10 cents, I've been buying a lot more. Really, I think since we left off here, I think this is one of the best buying zones ever. Like I mentioned before, this is the absolute buy zone. This is the absolute buy zone here for CRO. I actually might be buying a bit more today as well. A bit of a tutorial. If you guys haven't really used the Wolf Swap DEX aggregator yet, if you have any questions, or if you have any questions about using dApps at all, really on chain, using, for example, the Cronos ZK EVM network, let me know. This is definitely again open for questions. I still want to buy about $500 worth of ZK CRO. So we can do that on the exchange here, on WolfSwap, or we can decide to do it with lower valuations as well. So let's say we do $25. Then we can get about 272 CRO, the ZK CRO that is. Let's actually swap a bit here. So right now I'm using here the on-chain wallet. I got an extension really for my browser. And what you can do right now for me personally, so I got really here on my phone, I got the notification. It is asking me, hey, I actually got here a request for a swap. Can you please confirm it? And if I do, I made my swap here. And it needs its second confirmation. Okay. It is really fast though. This is happening on ZK. I think it's quicker than what's happening on the exchange. But yeah, what I'm doing myself is right now, I'm slowly getting in more ZK CRO or CRO depending on the network I'm using. So I do believe, honestly, like I mentioned before, it's a great buying opportunity here. So that's my personal buys. It's not that I'm just telling you guys because I have bags down here. This is what I'm doing myself daily. And as you guys know, my wallet is all transparent. I'm all open about my holdings. It's all at the coin node, not at the coin baron. It's coinbaron.cro. That's my wallet. You can watch along. I've been buying a lot of CRO at these valuations here. I better snag a line then. I do believe, Mr. Justin, it's a good play. I don't know how expensive the lines are right now, but I honestly do believe that right now is quite a decent moment to get a line. I don't know how big the airdrop will be though. Is it too late to stake for a card? Depends really. I think I quickly mentioned it before XGen, but you have to remember that for the card, you have to basically hold on to the CRO for about a year. And I do believe, even though I do believe in lengthening cycles, I do believe the cycle will probably top out this year in 2025. So it will be locked up and it will be staked for this year. However, if you go, for example, for the Ruby Red, or maybe for the Indigo one, the Indigo or the green, let me check. Ooh, spaces, sunshine spaces. We might be doing some more spaces in the future. Guys, we only have got one hand, so yeah. So like I mentioned before, so ow. I do not think anymore, Mr. Aggen, it is right now worth to stake for the IC White. Well, it's I think not the best deal anymore. I think the better deals right now are probably the IC White, not the IC White, the Jade Green to the left of me, or in the middle right now, and the Indigo, the blue one here. Those two I think are still quite decent cards, and also of course the Ruby Red one. Because in general, with, for example, free Netflix and with also the, I think 3% right now, 3% cashback, it's really a good deal. Like ROI wise, I will still make a video to actually showcase you why I do think it's a decent deal. Just based on the cashback and just based on Spotify and just based on the staking reward as well. But that will be coming in the future, that video. But yeah, the question by Sanjay here, how to buy the Lion token, will be coming soon. One day you will get your Prime card. No, I don't think so, Legacy. I love the cards. I love the cards, Legacy, but it's like buying a Lamborghini, right? Why would you do it? Why would you do it? Why would you get the Prime card? I've been thinking far and wide to so I think this cycle I could probably afford to get like the Obsidian card. But why? What's the reasoning behind it, right? I cannot, look to myself in the mirror and like why do you need this Obsidian card? Okay, they are like Pokemon cards. You got to collect them all. In that case, I still need the midnight blue. I still need the ruby red. And I do still need the rose gold as well. So the only the only thing what I'm really curious about, Mr. Legacy, is what's the material? They are mentioning a very premium material, maybe titanium or something like that. Swerve mentions if all coins keep dropping for another week, then Cronos will also drop. And ignore your rainbow chart. That's, yeah, of course it might, but I do believe, guys, that we have already dropped quite a bit, right? We are down a lot. It's not like from this point onwards we probably are going to drop another 50%. I think that's very, very unlikely. In that case, guys, we're gonna go. Then Ethereum would go back to valuations, I think, before the bull market, really. It is still, guys, I think we still have a potential decent bull run ahead of us in Q1. So let's say March or February. So I do believe we have already seen a lot of dips. We're down 56%, right? About 56% or 60 already. Down 60% since the highs in November. Of course, the rainbow chart is not holy, and models are here to be broken, but we have dipped already enough, I guess. That's my personal feeling here. Hey, Damo, a bit late, but I'm here. Another rough week, ladies and gentlemen. Hold strong. There we go. Salute to you, Mr. Damo. Salute to you. Do you have the full set of black? Did you know we still have to pay the delivery cost? And also, it is very high in my opinion. That's exactly why I do believe that free airdrop is a must. Because, guys, if you haven't heard the news, if you got the black t-shirt or the black skateboard or the black hoodie, if you live in Europe, so not if you live in the US, but if you live in Europe, you're going to pay about 50 euros just for delivery. And there might still be something on top of it for taxes. So yeah, it's honestly, it's ridiculous. So it's a good thing we'll get at least the airdrop. But yeah. Coin Baron, you probably already covered this, but I'm assuming you have seen an announcement today on the Loaded Line Dark Line X profile about the extra rewards for people with the required sets. We haven't really covered this one yet, so we can still do that one. Let me check if I can find it. I'm a lot slower, guys. Only one arm today. Still using here the Metella. There we go. So this is the latest news here by the Loaded Line team, as mentioned by Mr. Damo Coin. So there will be bonus allocations for the following, well, NFTs or the following stuff really inside the Loaded Line ecosystem. So if you hold at least one loaded line, you will get an extra bonus allocation. Makes total sense, right? There also will be another one if you hold a loaded line and also a dark line NFT. So again, I think makes sense. I do believe, what I'm wondering right now is, though, it doesn't mean you need two loaded lines. Do you need two loaded lines? That would not really make sense, but well, I guess if you have one loaded line and one dark line, you might have already done 1 and 2. Also, if you hold land, a tool, and also tactical gear for the main city game, you also get another bonus allocation. If you have one of the legendary lines, so the 1 out of 1, for example, we got, I think, the one with the real right, so the one with the airplane, but also I think the diamond one or the gold one, so the 1 out of 1 legendary loaded lines or the legendary dark lines. Also, if you hold the blockchain land, so that's the most exclusive, I think worth $3,000 NFT land in main city. If you got one of those, you will get the bonus allocation. And finally, if you have the expedition gear treasure, which I think are the how's it called again? Those are the treasures you would get in game. I think if you wear top 10, during the NFT, not during the first season really of the main city World Championship. Hey, Mr. Ratback, have a good one. Do you have a Discord channel for your subscribers? Probably coming up next week, Justin. I've got a whole task list right now for things still to do. Yeah, I still have to make the video for the US exchange. I still have to make the video for the level up, and I also need to do the Discord channel. But it's on the list. I'm making a list, doing it one by one. Ooh, I've been buying CRO for the supercharger. Right now, compounding rewards of staking CRO and also getting the reward token. Honestly, the CRO one is really good here. I think the unfortunate thing, I think, for Europe right now, because of the MiCA bill, if you live in Europe, due to the MiCA bill, the CRO token will no longer be available here, unfortunately. It will no longer be available in the EU. Overall, guys, I do want to also show you a few more things on the chart. And I already showed you the overbought indicator, but I also want to show you something else, which is the MACD. And I haven't really showed the MACD in a long time anymore in one of my videos. But one of the cool things right now is I do believe we're kind of peaking. We're peaking here with regards to the MACD. So we're at quite low levels. So you can see here the red levels here. Typically, I would believe this is the big one, the big week down. Typically, right now, we'd be slowly fading into the white red, the light red here. And then we can actually make that final attempt again at breaking to new highs. Some people, I think, on X have been calling it really more like the big 1, 2, 3 jump. So 1, 2, and then the big jump is 3, like 1, 2, 3. That was the dollar jump here. But I also do believe here we forgot this one here. We forgot this one. So I do believe actually it was not 1, 2, 3. It was 1, 2, 3, 4. But we'll see though. We'll see though. But the MACD, I think it's slowly curling up again. Probably next week, I do believe we might see a bit of a reversal. But again, it does kind of depend on what the S&P is going to do. And also, I think there will be some more macroeconomic data coming out soon. I also have one more thing I do want to show you. It's not the MACD, it's the stochastics. Not the stochastics, it's the RSI. I think it was the relative strength index. Also, that one right now has had quite a drop. You can see all the times we are at this level here. Oh, you can't really see that right now. Sorry, guys. Oops. What you see right now for the RSI is that we are slowly trending down once more. So this week has been quite a rough week. We are down, I would say, to these levels. And the last time we were here, we of course went up again. And also here, we went maybe down a bit lower, but typically we're right now at levels where normally we have a bounce again. And as I told you earlier, we might go a bit lower, but I do believe, honestly, basically looking at all these different indicators, we're getting to a close. These are very low valuations for CRO. And I don't really think we'll be here that long. CoinBaron, why doesn't CDC just do a buyback and burn? They could just take some of the fees from the platform and buy back CRO. It would create development on Cronos and bring volumes to CRO. I made a video about this, Mr. Financial Freedom. And there are basically two reasons. The biggest one, let me go here. The biggest reason is I do believe the legal issues. basically, if Crypto.com would do that, if they would do that, it would be looking a lot like they are having their own stock, right? Why would they use their own funds to buy a token with the sole purpose of propping up the price, right? I mean, that's the only reason why I would do a buyback and burn is to make the price increase. That's the only reason why you would do a buyback and burn. And that is why that's happening with stocks. The only thing that companies need to do is make their shareholders happy. And one of the ways to do that is a buyback and burn. But even in the stock market, and I made a complete video about this, the buybacks of stocks, the shares, and the buybacks of shares really on the stock market, it is not really only positive there. It is not only really positive there because it is also not really adding any value. It is not adding any value to the company itself. It is only adding value to the shareholders. So for short-term gains, that is really good. But for long-term gains, it doesn't really add anything. But maybe the only thing it does add is a bit of speculation. Some people say this is the best marketing tool. The CRO price. The CRO price, it's not doing that well, right? It's not doing that well. BNB did it and they are doing fine. Well done. Don't forget that CZ went to jail. He went to jail and they made a different company called... They made a new company called Easy Labs, previously Binance Labs. And also right now, they don't call it a buyback and burn anymore. They call it the burn program for BNB. It is a lot different than it was. Previously, it has been that way. And yes, it is successful for the price. In the end, it is a lot of speculation in this market, right? It is a lot of speculation in this market. But the question is, you got funds, right? Let's say you got $1 billion. Let's say you got $1 billion. What's the best way? What's the best way to make the CRO token grow? Is that to buy? Is that to buy really all the things on? Let's say, should you buy $1 billion worth of CRO, or should you actually invest into the CRO ecosystem? Should we create a more vibrant ecosystem, or should we? It's all a big question of fund allocation in the end. The buyback and burn is being done by BitGet, and many other tokens have done this. The point of the buyback creates developers, users, creates volume. It's a bit of a flywheel. It's a bit of a flywheel, I do agree with that. But that's only if people care about the... How do you say this? It's in the end all about marketing, right? It's about people need to be wanting to buy the CRO token. People need to be wanting to buy the CRO token. That's the only thing. If one of the reasons is, well, we know there's a system in place that periodically creates demand for the token by buying it themselves as a company. That's one, right? But in the end, it's not Crypto.com anymore that's going to do that because, well, I do believe it's looking too much like a stock. And I do believe, honestly, that BitGet, I don't know where BitGet is like from a legal point of view, but I do not believe they will go through this without any legal trouble in the end. Also, I want to remind you guys that there is also a burn on the roadmap, right? There is a Cronos burn planned for the roadmap. It is coming. The only thing is, of course, we don't know what's going to happen yet. It won't be done by Crypto.com, most likely. It will be done by Cronos Labs. How much, when? That's the bigger question. That's a really good question, me, myself. At first, I thought it was the sports betting. At first, I thought it was the sports betting, but I'm not so sure anymore because, well, he did mention Yeah, he did mention it, of course, that it's one of the biggest money makers really for the crypto.com exchange. But maybe it's something else. Maybe it's more AI related. Didn't do BitGet say they buying tokens with profit? Yeah, that's true. That's true, actually. And BitGet promised this, and it did pump the token. It did pump the token. But in the end, I keep repeating this, guys. I keep repeating this. Last cycle, I've been here. This is not my first rodeo. Last cycle, there was zero. There was zero buyback and burn. Nobody was asking about this. Nobody. There was a big burn, though, about 70%. And we went to $1. Why was that? Why did we go to $1 for CRO? Because there was demand. That's the only thing you guys should be caring about, really. In the end, I think the question, of course, for anyone doing research is not, it's not hoping for CRO or the crypto.com company to just pump in a lot of money, right? It is, are people willing to buy into the token? Are people willing to buy into the ecosystem? I think that's the question you should be asking yourself. That's the question you should be asking yourself. And I do believe in that. That's also why I am super bullish about this Lion token. I do believe it might be a catalyst for a potential growth spurt of the Cronos chain. And of course, I do believe that CRO will keep getting more freebies by the crypto.com Big Daddy. But okay. CDC has a roadmap already that created. CDC has a roadmap and already has created the ecosystem. I believe if they do a buyback and burn, it would drive users into the CDC ecosystem, I think. Into the crypto.com ecosystem or the Cronos ecosystem. I do agree though in the end, right? You want as a company, I think I do agree here with you, Mr. Financial Freedom. If you are a company, right, you want to have happy customers. And if you are a customer of crypto.com, you probably have a card. You probably have some CRO. And I think it's in their best interest to make people happy. And the best way to make people happy is by pumping the price. But again, there are multiple methods to get to the pumpy price, right? Again, burning is one method. There are so many more methods to get, the price pumping. Yeah, and I do believe here that Knight is exactly 100% right here. It's a great marketing tool. I created a big account to put some Bitcoin and ETH into the earn. I discovered the BitGet token. I discovered the exchange by the token itself and also the burn news. And I do believe, again, when we get the actual burn mechanic coming in Q3 or Q4 of 2025, it has been confirmed on the roadmap. There will be coming more eyes to Cronos. There will be coming more eyes to Cronos. But again, I don't know who started this movement, but there are so many more options to get to, the end is the $1 value, right? Anyone wants to see the $1 value or the $2.71? We're going to get there. At least I believe so. No financial advice. Welcome, Israel. Welcome. Lion is also a great marketing tool, guys. CRO only went to $1 because it did a burn of the supply, I believe. That was around the time it went up. No. Not that time around, Mr. Financial Freedom. The real reason why it went to $1 was actually, were a few. Let me show it to you on the chart here. Ooh. So the time it went to $1, that was when we had the crypto.com arena. The crypto.com arena, we had the Coinbase listing. So this is the Coinbase chart, guys. So right when Coinbase listed CRO, a lot of more retail demand got into CRO. What else did we have? I think if you go to the crypto.com one, Let me check if I can find down here. There was also a crow burn, and the crow burn happened, I believe, here. No, actually earlier. The crow burn was in the beginning of 2020. The beginning of 2020. I will make a tweet about this, just so people don't forget about it. But it did of course help. It did definitely help. But unfortunately, I think we faded it directly after the burn. So this was the burn. If I'm not wrong here, we went up about 200%. But then also we went down once more with the burn. So didn't really do anything. Oh well, it was definitely a good thing, of course, because a lot of supply was removed for forever. That was good. Oh yeah, you're right. Israel's right. It was also about the Matt Damon. So this is where the Fortune Favors the Brave commercial came up. Matt Damon, when we bought the Crypto.com arena, when I think they were talking about the US exchange. There was in general a lot of positive news coming up. The answer is apparently no. People are not really willing to invest nor interested in CRO or Cronos. I honestly, again, I have to go back to the beginning of the stream. I do believe it's a matter of time. Right now, Bitcoin is still waiting for that definitive move. It's again about the macro environment. What's the macro environment doing? But also, what are all the other tokens doing? If you guys might remember from the previous cycle, the Shiba Inu token is one of the biggest tokens. Of the Crypto.com ecosystem, or not the ecosystem. They are holding a lot of Shiba Inu tokens on the Crypto.com reserves, in the Crypto.com reserves for their customers. I honestly do believe once this also starts moving up once more, and I think once Doge starts moving, this is also going to happen most likely. People are going to earn a lot of money with the SHIB token. I do believe so. And also when they have money, they can also invest into different tokens, different alt tokens, also probably including Cronos. Bit of speculation here, bit of speculation, of course, but that's what we can do. That's all we can do, really. That's all we can do. It's all about hype. Yeah, it's all about the hype. Yeah, you guys are right. And that's what we need. That's also how I would like to end this stream, ladies and gentlemen. I think I have the majority. Also the majority. But that's what we need. We need a bit of hype. And hype can come in the form of a new token, and a big new token on the Cronos ecosystem. I do believe that with the Lion token, the Cronos community can come together. If it is a nice, good gainer, if it's not like the Malay token, the Libra token. I haven't really talked about the Libra token at all, but yeah, if you guys haven't heard the news, basically the president of Argentina rocked a lot of crypto investors. But if basically it's going to be a success story for the Cronos chain, that might start meme season 2 or success season 2 for the Cronos chain, like what we see right now on the Binance chain. And the more activity on the Binance chain, not the Binance chain, the more activity on the Cronos chain, the more developers are coming to the Cronos chain, the more users are coming to the Cronos chain, and the more gas fees are also spent using the CRO token. And the more CRO spent, the more people need to buy CRO. Again, a different type of flying wheel. Am I against buybacks and burns? Of course, guys, I'm not against buybacks and burns. The only thing is I'm not hoping for it anymore. I do know how Crypto.com is operating. I've been here for about 4 years, and I know how the game is played. They play it a bit differently than Bitget. They play it differently than Binance, but they have their ways. They have their ways, and so far, I do believe they have been successful at it. We'll have to wait and see, though. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, this is the weekly close, number 34. I will see you soon with some new videos. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye. Oh, this is not going right. There we go. Yes, please press the like button, guys.